Hey, good Thursday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. And we start to look toward the weekend and what I would call, I'm actually stealing this phrase from the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids in their forecast discussion to us, and I would agree, what we're calling a deep summer weather pattern shaping up. What does that mean? That means we're into the warmth, we're into the humidity, into the weekend. We have a hot dome out to the west, and we have what we call ridge runner storms. So these storms come up over that hot dome into the northern Rockies, down through the Dakotas, and at us. And they're tough to time, I'll be honest. They blow through quickly. And we have a pretty good feel for when this first ridge runner would come through, and it wouldn't be until about Sunday. Now, bear in mind, these are 1 or 2 hours. Can be potent, can be severe storms, but it doesn't run a whole day. So that's the other main focus, is when you look at your phone app, and I get that. That's how you get a lot of this stuff now. You might see raindrops under the clouds every day. You leave it to me to let you know if it's bad raindrops, long-lasting raindrops, or whatnot. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on. So, having said that, the next couple of days will be a little bit of a bugger to portray the forecast to you. And the reason why is right now I'm showing you the satellite picture, and you see a little swirling area of clouds over in northern Illinois starting to spread into the west side of the state. That's a tiny upper air disturbance that is just meandering, and it will be in place in southern Lower Michigan, isolated in nature during the afternoon when the heat is there, the moisture is there, the instability is there. It'll pop some scattered thunderstorms, isolated in nature. In fact, the models are very skimpy on that kind of thing. Eastern 2/3 of the state right now, beautiful sunshine, beautiful morning after. For us gardeners, a beautiful nutrient-laden rain. Stand back and watch your gardens grow. So here's the current radar, and I apologize, Keweenaw Peninsula. I have you cut off because there's nothing going on up there right now. So don't worry about it. We're looking to the south. So here's our radar forecast. All right, so here's our radar forecast. And again, let me grab, well, we'll go through this run. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. And note that as we get into the afternoon, this is actually 8 o'clock this evening, just an isolated thunderstorm or two. I've found that a little ridge from Big Rapids to Cadillac to Gaylord, same area that gets lake effect snow, is a very common area for these isolated lake breeze midsummer thunderstorms to pop up. But we go out 36 hours and there's really nothing going on. Let me grab the latest if it's in. And this is the beauty of the high resolution rapid refresh. Rapid refresh means we get a new run every hour. It's one of the only models that we get a new run every hour. The other ones come in every 6 hours. And this is what it says during the evening too. So, a couple of isolated thunderstorms, mostly in the west side of the state, but really not something that I would plan against. Okay, so I like to get a little technical with you because you can handle it. You're smart enough. When I was in television and in the 90s, before people were really tech savvy and could poke around on the internet, the consultants, the TV consultants, or as we called them in front of the camera, the TV insultants, because that's usually what they did. They usually came in and told you exactly what you were doing wrong, and if your hair was parted to the right, they said, that's terrible, you need to part your hair to the left. And if the set was bluish in color, they said, terrible, red. That's another story. So they would tell us, do not get technical with people. They just can't handle it. Talk to a sixth grader. Well, No more. You can handle it. So what we're going to look at is what's called the CAPE, convective available potential energy. We didn't even have that parameter or a way to look at that. We didn't even know it existed in the early to mid 90s. What it means is there enough energy pent up in the lower atmosphere to develop thunderstorms? We use it for severe weather if we had the other things that would make severe weather, and we don't think that's the case today, but we also use it for air mass thunderstorms. And that's where I'm going with this, is I just want to show you that we're going to have CAPE, or potential energy, in the atmosphere. You'll feel it. If you're like me and a weather nerd, you walk outside and say, oh, it's hot, it's sticky. Oh, look at those clouds building up. You'll feel it. But here's a, highly technical way, I guess, to see it. So this is a model forecast of the CAPE. And what you're going to look for is the blues and the greens and the yellows to develop in the heat of the afternoon. So this is 1 in the afternoon, and what that says is there's enough CAPE in the atmosphere in these blue shaded areas to develop scattered thunderstorms. And also note that it's not a coincidence that the model developed isolated thunderstorms. Hey, good morning, Brian Eggers Sr. How you been? It's not a coincidence that the models developed the isolated storms where they did, because notice that's where the CAPE is the highest. So as we go to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the CAPE typically peaks because the heating of the day, and then it wanes through the night. And then because we're just kind of a stagnant air mass, we go into tomorrow afternoon, and the CAPE is the same and more widespread. So in other words, scattered, run to your car downpours, but most everybody will be dry. This North American model goes out a little bit farther. Again, kind of shows that on Friday afternoon, maybe some scattered thunderstorms in the southeast. So, all right, now let's get to it. Okay, so what we know right now that I've told you is that today and tomorrow will be mostly dry, isolated thunderstorms, and the humidity will be there because we haven't changed the atmosphere from the tropical air we had with the remnants of Beryl. Now we go into the long term. We start off with, again, I always talk to you about this, the 500 millibar chart. If I'm on a desert island and I want to get off the island, and I only get one weather map, this is what I and all other meteorologists would choose. Okay, and what you're going to see out of it is that the hot dome stays west, we stay in a northwesterly flow, and you're going to see that midweek next week, a significant disturbance comes through and really takes that jet stream to the south, and it gives us a 2 or 3 day cool down. So the whole scenario is building heat through the weekend into early next week, strong cold front, drop back to very comfortable 70s for low humidity late next week. If you're pouring concrete, I've already talked to one of my best friends, and I've said, hey, you got a concrete job, Thursday, Friday of next week is when you don't have to worry about the scattered thunderstorms and the nightmare of pouring concrete around that. And these are downpours, by the way. Any one of these thunderstorms, you could be amazed at how much rain it can drop in a short time period. Yes, Rich DeWalt brings up topic. The rain was very nutrient rich. All right, so we go into the weekend. Saturday looks dry. I'll show that to you. Sunday. And we're looking for these little bends in the jet stream, which become really, really kind of subtle in the summer. But there's one sometime on Monday, and you'll see it in the surface pattern when I show you. But then here is the major pattern change as we go to Wednesday and Thursday. See how the wave comes through, and see how our upper air starts to come out of the north, and that brings the drier Canadian air in for a couple of days, and then we go to the weekend. And it might be something that sticks around a touch, maybe. But generally, I think we've got a great summer pattern. All right, so this is that same model in the ensemble mode, which takes the run I just showed you, the best run and it averages it with 30 to 50 tweaks, and it gives us a good perspective on the long range. So it drops that trough through late next week, and then it kind of builds the ridge a touch, but still keeps it flat, and we're out to the end of July on this. That's the downside of my job, is that my time goes twice as fast as yours, because I'm already looking at the end of July, and I go like, what? Jonah, what? Skip work Friday tomorrow, Mark? Yes. Yeah, definitely. Why not? So this says we continue with the rain burst every 3 or 4 days on the jet stream. We continue comfortably warm. We do not have extended 90s building. Now here's the surface pattern on that same model, and again, there's a Friday afternoon. It's pretty good sometimes at air mass thunderstorms. So eastern half of the state, I'd say you could have a scattered thunderstorm or downpour through there. Now Saturday looks dry. Saturday looks like a really good day, and then this model wants to bring that first kind of subtle wave through on Sunday. Not sure about that, but I would target, keeping an eye on Sunday. You could probably still get out and enjoy yourself, but you might have to watch for a line of thunderstorms early morning or late afternoon. This is Monday, same deal, and Tuesday. And then I showed you the cold front coming through on Wednesday, and this model tries to indicate that Wednesday would have the best chance. So in other words, you are going to see a valid chance of thunderstorms in every day of the forecast starting on Sunday until we get to Thursday. Then Thursday, everything's shifted to the south. We get into the northerly, drier wind, and next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday look like they could be A1 primo, middle of the road summer days. We're about 80, 83-ish today, and it's muggy. Then we're in the low 80s tomorrow, and it's muggy. Then we're in the mid to upper 80s on Saturday, and it's muggy. Hence my advice, find a water hole. And then Sunday, also mid to upper 80s muggy. Monday, almost hot. Tuesday, ahead of the cold front, usually tends to be pretty hot. And it could be. We could be 90 with some high humidity. Then here comes the cold front on Wednesday. And then we settle back to, 75-ish for Thursday and 75 to 80 for Friday and back to the low 80s on Saturday. And that's the kind of weather, folks, that makes Michigan one of the best places in the world to live during the summer, typically. Of course, we know that some of us, if you're not a winter fan, pay for it. And of course, we all know we all pay for it in March. If we could just X that month of weather off and go right to April, which is kind of iffy too here. But there you have it. So we don't get concerned about any severe weather until Sunday, but more likely I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday. And we do have a deep summer pattern for the weekend, so pack up the bag of swimsuits and beach towels and whatever, and let's go to it, because I have heard some grumbling that we've been ripped off so far over June and July. So get to it, enjoy it, and I'll keep you updated if anything becomes dangerous, but I don't think you'll have to see me. Well, you see me tomorrow morning, unless I do the work skipper Friday. You'll see me tomorrow, but you won't see me probably on the weekend. Take care. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.